Hey everybody, welcome to the Last Call Garage episode
16.
Nailed it.
Season 2,
Yep.
16.
Yeah. Today I'm Samir,
I'm Arvind.
And I'm Wayne.
and we got a show about conspiracy theories. But first, Wayne, how was your week? Or how is your week going?
It's hump day for me. So midweek.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a pretty interesting week, I would say.
What happened to you?
It's just really slow. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slow is always interesting. I get that.
Very slow. Sold an RSQ8 to this guy who owns a construction company, and his assistant reached out, and she was getting all the information for him. Her boss wanted videos and photos of the RSQ8, which I did. Sent them over. She had her phone number on it, so I called her, but our call broke up. I guess she couldn't hear me, so I texted her. And then after I texted her, I called her again to confirm that was her. I mean, she sounded cute. And then she came in today with him. Oh no. So that day, when I sent the information in, like all the photos and videos of the car, exterior and interior, we have an outside source that collects all these leads of clients and sends it to us. So I hit him up. The guy's name is Daniel, and he's like, "Hey Daniel, is it just a guy coming with his wife, or is the assistant coming as well?" And he's like, "Nah, it's just a guy. The assistant's not coming." And I was like, "Damn, all right, that's cool, whatever." And then today, they rolled through, and then I was like, "Oh shit, she actually came." Yeah, she was like, I don't know, barely reaching my shoulder. So she's pretty short, but I don't know, she's kind of cool. Didn't really get to talk to her, but nice personality. But yeah, that was I think that might be the highlight of my week.
You talked to a woman that you like? Cool.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, "Yo, did you get her number?" I was like,
I already
got the
have
number
it.
that was already in the system. I mean, I don't know. I was like, you know how weird that is? Like asking her number in front of her boss. It's like, yeah, excuse me though, but can I get your number? I was like, that's kind of weird. I don't really want to make a scene.
Anthropology.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how it went. You
Cool,
guys
so when are you
paid
gonna hit
full
her up?
cash. Huh?
I said, when are you gonna hit her up?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. If I get a couple drinks down, if I send something out, I don't know.
That's not what you should do at all.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
terrible
but
idea.
I wouldn't do it sober anyway, so
Oh my god.
probably why I'm so single.
Arvin?
My week, I've been doing nothing except doing online school. But today was the one day I actually did stuff. Famously, as you guys know, I don't really care for my cars in terms of maintenance, and today was the day I changed that around, I cleaned my Ford, which was amazing because it was so disgusting, and I actually did an oil change on my all-road, so that was great. And I bought a fridge today, so
Where's the fridge at?
You buy it from Best Buy?
I bought it from Best Buy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my parents need a new fridge. Our cheese drawer is broken, and that thing is older than my sister, so it only made sense.
It builds
Is that drawer
character though.
specifically for cheese? I've always wondered that.
No, we have a drawer specifically for cheese.
Like, is it labeled cheese?
No,
know,
we
there's
just
like
kind of know.
And then there's like a raw meat section. Do you have one that says cheese?
No, we just kind of like established that the bottommost drawer is just for our cheese.
Interesting. Yeah, because
Yes.
we also have a drawer specifically for cheese, but it's not labeled as a cheese drawer.
No, no, no. We call it the cheese drawer, you know. But that's been broken, and like I said, the fridge is older than my sister, so that's like 20 years old. So we're like, it's time for an upgrade. So yeah. Other than that, I've not really been doing anything. Just sitting on my ass at home. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds fun. Sounds better
It's
than
n-
my week.
I mean, it's
That was better than my week.
you know, the grass is always greener, right? Like, you know, I've had a couple of nightmares of being at work and like, I would wake up and like, oh, I'm not there. I don't have to deal with that stress anymore. So, yeah, I kind of miss working, but at the same time, you know, just doing my school thing and, you know, trying to succeed in life.
Feel it. I feel it.
How was your
Yeah,
week, Jimmy?
I'd take sitting on my ass at home better than like over sitting on my ass at work. But that's just. Although I am getting paid to do it, I think it's just the people I'm around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the people you're around are unpleasant.
Anyway, my week was I actually just took a second to think about my week. I don't think anything happened this week. It was a fairly plain week, which was nice. Yeah. I was talking to a coworker of mine today, and kind of playing around with the idea of bringing back my old shitbox showdown idea, but none of us are allowed to use cars we actually own yet,
Mm-hmm.
so we'd have to buy a car.
Wait, Shitbox Showdown?
Yeah, it's a series of challenges, a bunch of different like racing and events, all with cars that are shitboxes that fit under a certain category. So the stipulations we came up with: this car has to be bought for less than $1,000. You have $3,000, including the car, for mods, and it has to be a pre-1999 car, and it has to be gas powered.
So you're saying my 96 Corolla?
Yes, it would fit in it. Well, actually, that's the reason why it started. We were talking about Dom and his new Corolla that he's been mobbing around in, and how
What-
fun it is to just have shitty cars to just mess around with.
What year is this Corolla?
96 or 97?
Dom's a man after my heart.
Yeah, he got it for like $300.
So there is a Mark 1 caddy.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
there was another stipulation. It can't be a German car, and all the work that we do to it has to be either done with the participating group or documented. So no secrets.
Okay, okay. So
I
what
found a car.
There's a
And I was ready to go
1981
buy
Toyota
it.
Corolla.
96 or
It-
nothing?
it's not. It was a Ford, and it's not any type of Ford you're ever gonna guess that it was. And it was for $200,
Escort.
running and driving.
It had
No, and it's pre-smog too. It's a 1970 Ford Maverick
a Maverick.
for $200.
I've only seen one Maverick on the road, so that's
Yeah.
incredible on its own.
Hey, Arvin, you want to go in on this deal? Because the dude has two of them for $200 each.
Wait, what's his name?
I don't know his name. He's selling it for a friend of his that passed away.
I see. I'm willing to go halvesies with you on one.
You wanna go and have these for my $200 car?
Yes, because think about it. That's $100 less than you have to spend.
No. So here's the thing. It's most likely a straight. I don't know any information about the car. The dude still hasn't reached out to me yet because I sent him an email and he hasn't responded. So I'm not very hopeful about getting this $200 car, but it'd be sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to go halvesies with you.
It's most
bec-
likely a straight six car, right?
Mavericks.
Probably. There was only 3 motors that the 70s came with. It was a 200, 250, or 302.
Yeah.
And I highly doubt it's a 302 Windsor. It's probably
Yeah.
200 or 250 straight six.
I mean, still a strong engine from what
I
I recall.
have a KO3 sitting in my garage.
kept the carburetor, a carbureted turbo car would be the tits.
Yeah, dude, it'd be so fun.
Damn.
It's internally gated. I don't need any fucking boost control. Just slap it on, pipe it, send it. Increase the fuel, done.
Screwdriver.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of my week, was just going through that. But everyone that was initially interested is kind of losing interest again. The same way it happened the first time.
You know how it goes.
Yeah. But
it's okay.
Travis
You
is
have
the
our
only one that was
attention.
Still 100% down. Like, he hates spending money, but he was like, "It sounds fun as fuck, so I'm down."
I mean,
Yeah, that's how my week was. But before we get into these, who was what, Arvin? Nice. Well, before we get into these conspiracy theories, I need to go grab a drink because I forgot to grab one before we started.
So, what you grab the drink, Sammy?
I am drinking trusty old Corona and following it up with a trusty old Kirkland Signature Seltzer. I can't drink more than 2 beers before I get unbelievably bloated. So, because I just don't drink beer anymore. So, I guess it was just something I was used to.
I get that. Beer takes up a lot of unnecessary space.
Mm-hmm.
I actually found the 3rd flavor pack of White Claw at my local liquor store, so that's what I bought.
You said the third variety?
Flavor?
Yeah, the 3rd flavor pack. You know how they have like...
Mhm.
So, the new flavors they have are blackberry, pineapple, and I don't remember the 3rd. And they include mango as well, which is a carryover from the 2nd flavor pack.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. How are they?
I'm drinking the blackberry, and it doesn't really taste like much. I guess it's kind of blackberryish. I have a pineapple, and I'll bust into that after I'm done with this one.
For sure, for sure. Wayne, what are you drinking?
Found an 805.
You found one. Oh, here it is. I saw Wayne bust out his koozie, and I was just like, "Oh, where's mine at?"
The 3rd flavor is strawberry.
Strawberry?
Mm-hmm.
Strawberry White Claw, huh?
Yeah. That actually
Wait,
feel bad.
strawberry? Ooh,
Yeah.
the mango, strawberry, blackberry, and pineapple.
Yes.
Oh,
That
That's
leads me
it.
to a question for you guys. Is there like a smell of a fruit that you can't stand? Because for me, it's strawberries.
Papaya.
Mm-hmm.
papaya. I like
Absolutely hate the
papaya,
smell
though.
of papaya.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, I can enjoy the taste of a strawberry, but I cannot smell them. They're just like, they smell sickly to me.
Really? That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anyone have that opinion about strawberries.
I mean, I guess it like harbors back to my childhood.
Like everything else in your life.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just like
Brings back memories.
when you're a kid and you have surgery, they have flavored masks for like the oxygen and anesthetics.
Mm,
For some reason, I always got strawberry, so I just like,
Mm.
it was just, yeah, it just ties back to those memories.
Wow, I never knew about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, dude. Once I became like older, like middle school, like high school, they gave me like the normal unscented ones. Like, thank you for this, God.
I'm pretty sure you could have asked for it.
I mean, I could have, but they were too big for my face, so they had to give you the children's ones.
They don't have like a little transitional step down.
Unfortunately, not.
I thought you were gonna say something like really dumb, like strawberries killed my parents or something.
that'd be too crazy, though.
Like my mom was beating me one day and I smelled strawberries, and all I can think of is my mom beating me every time I smell strawberries.
She beat the strawberries into you.
Or she was just shoving strawberries in your face.
These strawberries.
delicious. But
Eat
like,
it.
but I can enjoy a good strawberry. Like if I don't have to like smell it and then just like someone presents to me like a strawberry like drizzled with sugar, I'll eat that motherfucker.
Oh god. I'd fuck a strawberry.
Alrighty.
Oh, I should mention this is over Zoom, which is why we're all at different audio levels. So there will be a YouTube video to follow this. So go ahead and check out our YouTube video or YouTube channel for the video.
Yep.
All right, let's hop into this. This took me maybe an hour to put together, and it is 2 pages long, with the what's it called? Page breaks all the way maxed out. So this is the hollow moon theory. You guys ever heard of the hollow moon theory?
No. I've heard about like aliens being on the dark side of the moon and telling like Neil and Buzz like GTFO.
Yeah, so the hollow moon theory is grouped in a lot with aliens being on the dark side of the moon, or just aliens being on the moon in general, because of the fact that the moon at that point would not belong to Earth. You know, it'd just be alien, and you would assume alien in origin if aliens are there.
Would you say that they don't, the people of the
Bless
moon,
you.
they don't need any education?
It took a second. I hate you. No, so the hollow moon theory is actually it started off in science fiction. So the first time it appeared in science fiction was from H.G. Wells.
Journey
wrote
to
a-
the center of the Earth?
No, it was in a book called The First Men in the Moon.
Oh, okay. That was,
Yeah.
I was referring to Jules Verne, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
the book came out in 1901, so that was the first appearance of the idea of a hollow moon. But that wasn't the first idea of like a hollow planet, like those that had been in science fiction before. But anyway, for some reason it caught a lot of traction, and between 69 and 77, during the Apollo missions, they installed seismometers. Seismometers?
Seismic monitors?
Seismometers.
For seismic measuring, right? Like,
Yeah. It was to record moonquakes. I was going to say moon earthquakes, but that's not right. And every time that there was a moonquake, it was described as like it sounded like a ringing bell. And it was mainly for the shallow moonquakes. It's really hard to say moonquakes and not earthquakes. And during Apollo 12, they deliberately crashed into the moon. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, when Apollo deliberately crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface, NASA reported that the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, which is why people started coming up with this theory that the moon was hollow. It just makes sense. Why else would this moon be ringing like this? And it honestly does kind of really make you wonder. But some people think that the reason that it rings is because the moon is less dense than the Earth, and specifically, the moon's density is 3.3 grams per centimeter cubed, whereas the Earth is 5.5 grams per centimeter cubed. Some people attribute that to the fact that the moon could possibly come from like an asteroid hitting the Earth, and it's a chunk of the Earth, you know. Because then it would be from the crust of the Earth, which is less dense than the rest of it. So, yeah, that's kind of, in a nutshell, the base moon, like hollow moon theory. Then you get into the whole idea that there's aliens on the moon, right? So it goes between aliens being in the moon and aliens being on the moon, because essentially this theory is just the moon could be a whole alien base. Like it's like a Death Star, essentially, but without the death. So just a star, but not a star, a moon base, but not a moon, just a base.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that could make sense because, we don't really see the dark side of the moon, and it could be very well camouflaged. So, like, if the humans that have been on the moon, they wouldn't have necessarily seen it.
The thing that's interesting is the Apollo mission where it rang for a bell for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get that, sound will travel, right? But the moon isn't that big. And I'd want to know what the Earth sounds like when something like that happens to the Earth, right? So I at least have like a baseline. Because if the Earth rings for like 15 minutes, then it'd be like, okay, well, the ringing noise isn't that crazy, but the length is crazy.
And you said it rang for how long on the moon?
For an hour.
An hour, okay.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. I mean, famously, the Earth is not hollow, so I feel like all the inner mechanisms of the Earth.
Is it though? Is it famously not hollow?
I mean, you're right. We haven't been there.
We haven't been all the way down. What's below those tectonic plates? Why are they moving so much?
You know that there is a core, right? I think. What they said
Yeah.
something about that.
Everything.
That's
is
what they watched, I think.
Everything is hypothesized because we don't know. The deepest hole on Earth is in Russia. That's called the Kola superbore. But I don't know how deep they got, but they couldn't even break through the crust because their tools kept breaking.
Yeah, and then you got to deal with the immense amount of pressure and heat.
Yeah.
So
But people are like going off of like volcanoes, right? Like basically earth pimples spewing out what's inside.
do you think volcanoes are like ingrown hairs?
It's past that stage, when you like pop an ingrown hair, like pimple or whatever.
Do you think if you go far enough down in a volcano, you find like a tree?
No, Sammy, I don't think that. I feel like if you go far enough down, you'll find a lot of molten metal. Because like
it'd be metal at that point, though.
I mean, it's liquid metal, right? Because in terms of like physics, that much pressure, right? Increased pressure causes increased heat, and increased heat would make like elements like any metal to like melt. So
What if it's the inner Earth's defense mechanism?
then I'll take my hole to China tomorrow.
Dude, I think I might be onto something. What if that's not even China? What if that's inner China?
So that hole that Arvin was talking about, it's about 7.6 million miles. No, 7.6 miles.
I think you misplaced a comma.
Yeah,
They
a couple commas.
They
Yeah,
dug straight through and
7.6
went
miles. Equivalent to about 12,262 meters. So that is the deepest artificial point. But if you're looking at a true vertical depth, that was beaten
That's one
by
of those ocean, right?
It was an ocean. No, it was an oil well in Saudi America. Saudi
America. Saudi
Kuwait.
America?
Kuwait? Is that how you say it?
What?
Qatar.
Kuwait.
Qatar.
Qatar.
Oh no, that's Qatar. Yeah.
Yeah, Qatar. Yeah, in
That's where
Qatar.
Transformer 2 was.
Yeah,
That,
but that
that distance
so
Wayne mentioned is lesser than the distance between you and my house, Sammy.
Yeah.
yeah. So that artificial hole was 7.619 miles, and the oil well is 7.636 miles. So like
7.636. So just barely.
Just barely. But of course, drilling that down is almost impossible because the rocks behave like plastic. It was that hot that the rocks just felt like plastic.
Interesting.
Do you think they could smell what he was cooking?
Probably.
It was plastic.
Damn, yeah, I don't know where that leaves me.
I mean, it's fun to fantasize that, like, you know how Jules Verne wrote that book, which became adapted to the movie with Brendan Fraser.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always
Great
fun
movie,
to, like,
by the way.
I feel like that's the last like Brendan Fraser new release movie I've seen.
It might be the last one.
Yeah. I heard he's making a comeback, so good for him.
Didn't he get like screwed over by his wife or something?
Yeah, so he's finally recovering from the divorce where she took everything. Because Brendan Fraser, like, fond memories of watching The Mummy, you know?
Yeah, no, he was in a lot of stuff. He was a big guy.
Yeah, no, like I think I still have George of the Jungle on VHS.
I think we gave ours away.
Mummies. That was.
Wait, you ever seen George of the Jungle?
I read the book, the little cartoon thing.
There was a book? Are you thinking
Yeah,
of Curious George?
Oh, Curious George. Never mind.
Nailed it.
Same shit.
No, it's not.
There's a man and
One's about a
there's an
monkey.
animal.
Oh man. No, George of the Jungle was like
Tarzan, but better.
Yeah. Tarzan.
essentially.
Yeah, my favorite part of that movie was like the African guides that just like made these awesome one-liners when the bad guy was like going through the forest. Ursula.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again. All right, back to aliens. So, it's thought that the alien on the moon theory was started by the Russians, specifically two Russians in 1970, Michael Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov. That's hard, dude. It's Schcher. I don't even know how you say those two.
Sherbakov.
Sure. They were part of the Soviet Academy of Sciences, and they came up with a hypothesis that the moon is a spaceship created by unknown beings. And it was published in an article that was called "Is the Moon the Creation of Alien Intelligence?" Now, this hypothesis relies on the suggestion that large lunar craters, generally assumed to be formed by meteors hitting it, were too shallow or flat or even having convex bottoms, like the bottom of them being convex. So they thought that the small meteors were making like a cup-shaped depression on the rocky surface of the moon, while the large ones were drilling through the layer and hitting an armored hull underneath it. So there's still, a moon there, but inside of it is a base.
So, a hollow moon base?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah.
I would say it's like the Death Star, but more concealed. Like,
Yeah, it's a Death Star, but not a star.
Yeah.
It's not deadly either. So it's just a moon, but it's not a moon. It's a base. Exactly what I said earlier.
Did you guys hear that news that the Pentagon released that they believe UFOs are real?
Well,
What?
Yeah, so I think that would make sense.
Is that the one from last year?
No, it's they did it earlier this year actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they released footage and they believe not UFOs but unidentified. They have a different term that they use, but essentially they're saying like they believe in UFOs, like flying objects that they can't determine the origin.
UAPs, right?
Yes.
Unknown aerial phenomenon, or unidentifiable aerial phenomenon. Yeah, it's like UAP.
unidentified aerial phenomena.
Boom.
Yes, that was really good.
Fucking in
Sammy.
this, all right, dude.
That was really impressive. Yeah, so they believe that UFOs exist, but they're not like confirming that the origin is from like outer space.
Yeah.
They're not even confirming anything, but they're saying that they know they exist and they believe they exist, and they just don't know where they're from.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, there's a lot of evidence going both ways. So it's kind of just whatever they say will probably change what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah, I just think it's dumb to not acknowledge that life exists in outer space.
Yeah, there's always these things where it's like people would say why if there was aliens, why would they come here? Why would they waste their time, sending probes out over here? Well, I mean, we've done it. And
Yeah.
we're not even as advanced as we think these races are. So why wouldn't they do it?
So there's two leading theories about that. And they both are built upon the same structural theory, which is like the staircase. And the staircase is like, each step in evolution. And so currently, like, let's just say like humans are at level 5, and life that's on the great beyond is either on, level 4 or lower. So they just are not able to explore, you just don't have like the mental capacity,
Mhm.
or they're beyond that step and they've observed us from afar and they want nothing to do with us. Those are the two schools of thought that exist currently.
Mhm.
And so if a higher, intelligence being decides to contact us, it could be necessarily bad, because they might not want to like be our friends, rather than they want to harvest our resources. So it's
Sorry, no. I think that it's. I'll get to something a little bit later here that I found in another article, but it made a lot of. When I first read it, I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. But the more I thought about it, is if these aliens or extraterrestrial beings, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, were actually frequently coming here, whether or not everyone knew about it, they're clearly not a super hostile race towards us, right? Because if they were, what's stopping them?
I agree with that, and I think that goes to another fundamental belief, where if a alien organization can go out and like explore the universe around them, they're not facing conflict on their planet.
Mhm.
Whereas like we're so strapped with conflict, wars are being fought, there is no peace. So I would say that like those alien or societies have gone past that, and they're observing us and seeing that for better or worse, like we can't get our shit together, so it's not worth associating with us or contacting us.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. So I did take the time to write down the disputes for certain things of this. This one theory presented by the Russians has one very specific dispute that was documented. That there was an author that wanted to point out that all their evidence was circumstantial, because in the 1960s, the Soviet Union was atheistic, and they promoted the ancient astronaut concept in an attempt to undermine the West's faith in religion.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's a theory dating that far back, don't trust it, because it was the Russians trying to change your mind.
Yeah, I think that just sounds like a ideological power move,
Mhm.
just trying to undermine their opponents.
I mean, 60s and 70s, and it's Cold War era. I would not put it past them. It's absolutely 100% a real thing. So,
Yeah.
Believe what you want to believe, but at the end of the day, you're going to be a communist. I
Am I a communist?
think you might be.
Oh, that's not good.
What's your favorite color?
Gr- I was really gonna say red, but I was like, no.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
say
because you're a
like
communist.
I'd say green or the color of my walls, which is like Tiffany.
Tiffany blue.
Yeah, Tiffany blue, like turquoise.
Communist colors. Anyway, Wayne, you have any thoughts about aliens? Like, do you think they've even come close to our planet if they exist?
Yes, but so the way I see it is that if they were able to come to our solar system, then um, I don't think it'll be that easy for them or for us to find them. You know, because it takes more. They're more technically advanced than us, right?
Mhm.
Kind of
Because
like
we
the
can't even. Oh,
kind of like Men in Black, you know?
yeah,
Alien.
you know, it's like if they can travel through solar systems and find us, and then you're saying that we can simply like, oh yeah, we saw you.
Yeah,
It's like, you know,
yeah. It's not going to be
like
like a one day they're here, one day they're not. It's like clearly you can see them. It won't
exactly.
be like that until it's too late.
Yeah. And then I mean, like I think like by the time we see them, it's like, oh shit, well, I guess we're dead.
And yeah, there's not much Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum can do to save us.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about the
so-
president?
I mean, I don't even think our current president knows what century he's in, but you know,
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It's also interesting that a lot of people think that aliens showing up would be the end of the world, or like the end of us.
But I mean, so the way I see it is, it could be both ways, you know, like
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance.
yeah, like oh shit, we're dead, or hey, what's up? Let's sit down, have a beer, you know.
It's just like meeting any other random person on the street. 50-50
Yeah.
chance they're a nice guy or they're a murderer.
Yeah. And like it goes back to what I said earlier that they would be more technically advanced than us. Like I'm pretty sure they have like computers that will translate English to whatever language they have, right? Because we have like little small electronic things that can translate Spanish or Japanese or German in like an instant to whatever language we are. I'm pretty sure they have that like built into their heads or like a little chip or whatever.
yeah.
So communication wouldn't be an issue.
I'm more interested in their understanding of physics because our physics, like you know, our understanding of the world, like mathematics, physics, is only limited to what we can observe. And if those other beings observe far more, then like, can you imagine the changes they could bring to us?
Yeah, because our understanding of physics, I mean, it has laws. There's laws of physics on our understanding.
And like,
They could not even have laws, or they could have completely different idea of physics. So it's a very, very good point. It's interesting.
yeah, I think like they could, if they're doing interstellar travel, I feel like their laws would just destroy ours, you know?
Mhm.
But I want to see what they think about us. 'Cause,
I would
because
say
if,
that.
if they're coming to us, then that means they can already see what we're doing other than just traveling to us and be like, oh hey, look, there's Earth. But I just want to see what they think about us and see how we I just want to see how they see us through their eyes.
Interesting.
Like are we like retarded or are we like smart?
That actually brings me to another set of theories that I've like, you know, read off on the internet, is that either like, you know, extraterrestrial beings are observing us and they're waiting for the right time to contact, or we haven't made enough of a footprint for them to notice us. And if it's the second theory, it could mean very bad things for us. Because, you know, let's just say like we put out a blast and somebody notices us, that 50% chance of them being nice or like bad kind of falters. Because like they're like, ooh, new planet of life. How are we going to exploit this? Like, we don't even know, right? We don't even know.
Yeah. How do ancient civilizations play into this for you guys though? Because there's been a lot of documentation, a lot of theories on like aliens visiting ancient civilizations, like very advanced civilizations, like, you know, ancient Egyptians and Mayans, and, you know, they had this different understanding of the way the world worked than we do today. Right. And there's always a lot of theories about them being visited by sky people or whatever the fuck they call them.
I think that's a cop-out answer, because we've lost a lot of the knowledge that the ancients had, right? We only have, and don't quote me on these numbers, but I'd say we have like 1% of the knowledge they had. Right. And then, like, you know, all of that was lost due to time, because, you know, people were like trying to make their impression. I'm not saying it's possible, but I have another theory as to why these ancient civilizations were so developed.
Which is?
This is a ridiculous theory. It's the mushroom theory.
I've heard about that.
I've never.
Or I think the actual name is the stoned ape theory. And so the basis is that you know, the psilocybin magic mushrooms?
Yes.
They come from cow poop.
Okay.
And I'm just going to use Hinduism for this example, right? I didn't really understand why the cow was such a basis, but when I learned that like psilocybin came from cow poop, like, you know, grows from cow poop, and then, you know, looking back at the art of, you know, my people, it kind of made sense. Like psychedelics was the reason that we were able to bridge the gap and like learn more. So it could go either way. I'm not saying aliens are out of the question, but this is another theory that you could, you know, try to understand and see if it makes sense.
That almost feeds into the understanding, or the unscientific understanding of the pineal gland.
You could elaborate.
So the pineal gland that like controls your hormones and stuff. Is it hormones? I don't remember. There's some gland in your body called the pineal gland. Looks like a pine cone.
It's in your brain.
What?
It's in your brain, like in the like lower center.
Somewhere over there.
Yes.
It's referred to as your third eye, right? Yeah. There's a lot of theory behind the pineal gland, and, you know, things that inhibit it in our daily life, and that's what's missing from our understanding of the world versus ancient civilizations.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that you have all the answers. You just need to find some way to, you know,
unlock it.
Yeah. And for our ancestors, it's not out of the question that something else boosted that. Right. So like it's an open-ended statement, whereas like it could have been aliens, it could have been psychedelics. You know, these are both very likely things. You know, because when I look at ancient art of like mythical beings, and I like, you know, go through my experiences with that sort of stuff, it kind of lines up. It kind of makes sense. I'm not saying it's 100% definite, but it does make sense where it's originated from.
Yeah. Do you guys ever hear the theory about the pyramids? How...
Are there aliens?
Which
No,
one?
not aliens. Is that these ancient civilizations that built them, they had a much deeper understanding of energy and how it flowed throughout the universe. And so they were positioned in very specific areas in order to harness and transfer energy more efficiently. And that's how they powered their societies and things. I mean, even if that was true, because a long time, a lot of people thought the pyramids in Egypt, like the Giza pyramids and stuff, were tombs, but not a single burial has been inside a pyramid. So they're obviously were for different reasons, and they're all missing that capstone at the top. So maybe that capstone was somehow a big part of the equation, you know? All these open-ended questions from history. It's just, there's no way of explaining this kind of stuff. It's interesting. When you start looking back towards history, you can go down a real fucking rabbit hole. But moving on. Now this is all based on an article I found on space.com.
Ooh, that's
So
like
you know it's
science.com.
it's trustworthy. Would you guys agree that everyone can speculate about Earth? You know, you can have all these scans of the surface and everything, but there's really only 12 people for sure that can say what is on there on the moon. And there's the 12 astronauts that have been up there.
Yeah.
So, out of those 12, you know, did you guys hear that, you know, Buzz Aldrin punched the dude for saying the moon landing was fake?
Yeah, and Buzz Aldrin also drives a Corvette, so.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
it was given to him, wasn't it?
No, fun fact. Since astronauts were considered government employees, they weren't allowed to accept gifts, right?
Damn, you got fucked.
Yeah, so but that's the fun fact, right? So this Chevrolet dealer
Did
in
he pay like
Florida,
$1?
yeah, it was $1 for like a Corvette.
So clearly the moon landing was real, because why would this man physically assault another person for saying it was fake? Unless that's a really, really strong cover story.
Wasn't Buzz like 80 when he punched the guy too?
He was up there. I don't know if he was 80, but he was definitely up there.
I heard like he knocked that guy out cold too.
But did you guys know that there is one astronaut that has gone on record saying that he believes it? That the government has been in contact with extraterrestrial beings.
Who is this guy?
His name is Edgar Mitchell. He founded the Noetic Sciences, or the Institute for Noetic Sciences, in '73, but he is also more known for typing 80 lines of code to save the entire Apollo 14 mission as it descended into the moon, or onto the moon, in '71. He passed away in 2016, by the way. But he was the 6th human on the moon, and he has gone on the record saying that he believes aliens are the reason the nuclear war between the US and the Soviet Union never actually happened.
Interesting.
So, from my recollection of the Cold War, the closest the Soviets and the US have been to a nuclear war was when a submarine had some botched information, and one of the higher-ranking officers on the submarine was just like, "No, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Transmission."
Yeah.
And he was the reason why we didn't go to nuclear war. So I'm interested in hearing this because that's concrete evidence that I've said.
It's not like one specific defining moment that stopped it from happening. It's like the whole reason that the Cold War was a Cold War. So at White Sands experimental base, or Air Force Base, I don't remember what kind of base it is, but at White Sands, where they developed a lot of atomic weapons, he's quoted saying, atomic weapons is what the extraterrestrials were interested in. They wanted to know about our military capabilities. And my own experience talking to people has made it clear that the ETs had been attempting to keep us from going to war and help create peace on Earth. So this kind of goes back to your theory where they clearly have had peace in their civilization, which is why they were so advanced. So it's, I guess, in his opinion, they were trying to help us get to that point, or move us along in the right direction.
So my question is, what did they do to stop? Or
What do they do specifically?
Mhm.
I don't know. That's confidential. I don't know. Space.com didn't go into it. And he is now dead. So I don't know what you want me to do about that. Maybe we can get in touch with some of those aliens. We can do something about it.
But why would they want our information? Like our nuclear information.
Why would they want to know what we're capable of?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
them up or see where they're at.
Or if they could ally with us and further understand.
Yeah. Even just to try to understand what our knowledge level, not knowledge level, but what our general understanding of how the universe works is at. If we're messing around with atomic weapons, they're like, oh, we were doing that when we were like 6. Like, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys at on the spectrum?
Why are you guys still fighting each other?
Yeah.
Global
I haven't thought about
peace-
that.
Yeah. I think global peace is when we finally will make we will have that contact with extraterrestrials. I think that's what's missing from Earth.
Whether or not it increases our chances or whether or not that's when we come into contact with them, world peace would exponentially, we would grow exponentially after that, because then we're not being bogged down by all these petty little problems that we're having between governments,
Right.
Yeah, so the only thing stopping us really is this, in my mind.
There's also another conspiracy theory about that, the one world government.
Yeah,
and
lizard people.
Yes. Not necessarily lizard people. Maybe it ties into it, but it's just people are like, oh, the world wants to unite under one dictating power, and they're going to kill all of us. But my life isn't important if it means the advancement of society as a whole.
Yeah, but there is still that level of selfishness that every single human will have, where it's my life may not be important for the future, but it's still my life,
Yeah.
You only get one of those.
You
get 2 sets of teeth, but only one life.
I don't know. I think I crossed that bridge a while ago.
No, you're fine.
It's more of a spiritual sense,
Yeah. So to tie it all up, we get to my next section in this long page, or this long rabbit hole that I went down at 5 o'clock today.
That's why you're responding to my text.
Yeah. Do you guys want to know the website that I found this on?
Of course.
It's alien-ufo-research.com. I don't know how I got here.
Nice.
I wonder how much they pay for that domain name.
And this is in their alien moon bases section.
Wait,
but
what's the name of that website?
Let me just. What?
What's the name of that website again? Because I need to look it up.
Here, you know what? How about I just send you the link?
Sammy here, a gentleman and a scholar.
So I never actually went to the homepage of this website. So if you see something interesting, please let me know.
Oh, I will.
I went specifically to the images tab. And let me read you a little excerpt from their moon base category. It isn't well known that the world governments have been covering up the fact that aliens have bases on the moon. There are many facts, pictures, videos, satellite images, and testimonies that create hard evidence of this fact. From respected scientists, astronauts, and military personnel, we gain a pretty defined perspective on the subject. A lot of those images are very blurry and hard to tell. Don't know what satellite they were taken with, how old the satellite was, how the visibility is in space. I don't know any of this stuff. So I just didn't really care about it. But I did find this image that I'm gonna send in chat.
Oh, why don't you screen share?
Because I don't have it up on my phone, on my computer. Oh, let me open it. Oh, well, it's not zoomed in. All right, I'll screen share. Oh, well, Wayne disabled screen sharing, so Wayne, you screen share.
Yeah, wait.
Here, let me send you this
There you
link.
go.
Wayne.
You can do it now.
Go to that. Oh, what?
You
Yeah.
can do it now.
Okay. So, here we go. 2021 gun laws updated, in case you're wondering. We scroll all the way down. You see, you get an idea of the images that they have posted here. Not super credible. This one's kind of weird. They named a bunch of things. I don't really know why. Although this LA on the moon section here, interesting. Because I could see how someone could see that as being a silhouette of a city skyline. I'm not buying it though. Go down to this one. There's a very detailed picture, and I'm not 100% certain that this is the moon.
Looks like a
But-
lake.
Yeah, that's definitely like a lake or a giant crater with no bottom in the middle of the moon, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we found water on the moon yet. At least in lake form. We got some buildings over here. Those could even be semi-trucks, depending on the scale. I don't know what the scale is here.
That's a big
But-
warehouse right there. The bottom right, middle.
Right there?
No, the other side. Right. Right. A little bit right. Up. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing at before.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing to believe here, and I think this is kind of why a lot of these moon base and hollow moon and alien people aren't taken seriously, is because some of their stuff is just kind of out there and they just want to believe it's so bad and they state it as fact that it's kind of hard to get behind. That looks like a farm in black and white.
I mean, on the top
Yeah.
right corner, you see trees.
Yeah, I mean this is almost like you can even see like what look to be trees down here.
Yeah.
Like I am not buying that this is the moon at all.
This looks too human,
Yeah.
right? Like, who's gonna put up walls? Like, aliens don't need walls.
Yeah. What are they trying to keep out? Why do they need walls?
Right? The structures, they just look too human. Like, someone is grasping at straws and they're blind.
Yeah. So like if you're believing in moon bases and stuff and this is your go-to website for evidence, like I'll be honest, I'm not really entirely sure what you're seeing here. But
It looks like the surface of the moon with asteroid hits.
that looks like a
So-
butthole. Yeah, dude, like I just like I want to understand and I want to be like, okay, yeah, that's a possibility. But then I start getting into this section of it and it's just like, what? No, it's not. That's not it. Like this one, what the gun emplacement or what? Question mark, question mark. Yeah, that right there.
This website, and I kind of like look through like the main page. It just looks like someone who watched too much X-Files and was like, I want to believe.
Yeah. But for a long time, this was conspiracy theories. They had like little tiny niche websites that look like they're designed in the fucking 90s. And yeah, nothing
Like-
about this website is serious to me.
I mean, a more credible theory to me would be like aliens living underneath the gas clouds on, like, Jupiter. What's the big planet? Neptune or whatever.
Yeah. So this is kind of where it all falls apart for me. You know,
I mean, that's where most of these conspiracy theories fall apart, you know, like,
when you go looking for evidence.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but the sad thing is there are people who see these things and they're like, oh no, that's real. I believe
And they
it.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know if it's sad.
No, it is sad. It
It
sad.
is because the level of naivety that's needed, but also
It's wasted energy, you know, like, why believe
yeah,
in something that is easily disproven? Why believe in that when you could put that your energy into something that could, you know, improve our humans' lives, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
There's just so much wasted potential because of people like this, you know.
yeah,
And it's a broad thing, you know, like anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, you know. I'm sure some of those people who believe in those theories have incredible minds, but they're just wasting it on some theory that is absolutely incorrect, has been disproven.
yeah. So let me read you what the caption under this picture I showed you was. This is a superior image of one of the alien moon bases. It is undeniable. You can see perfect shapes, buildings, roads, and walls. This is one of the images that wasn't supposed to be seen by the public. Classified. ...
Interesting.
All that image reminded me of is like I was going through like Reddit or Tumblr or something, and I just saw like this image set which is like people who build things in like craters just to get away from people, and that's just what that reminded me of. You know, like someone wanted to like just get away from people and like, oh, I found a crater, might as well just make my, you know, turf here. And aliens not going to do that. They're smarter than that.
Yeah. So to wrap up that that web page, it had this tasty little paragraph, and I shortened it because a lot of it was just like rambling almost. But it says what this means is that there was, and most likely still are, alien bases or civilizations inhabiting the Earth's moon. Why have we not gone back to the moon, and why the governments of the world choose to keep this a secret? Which that sentence doesn't make sense. Are aliens the reason why we have seen the surge of technology over the last 50 years? What? It's like it'd be a cool idea, you know, just like, oh, that makes sense. Over the last 50 years, we have made a lot of technological advancement. But if it was aliens, we'd make a lot more of a technical advancement.
That's true. Now, here's my bullshit theory. If the aliens only went to Japan, then it could kind of hold some water.
Or they're currently in charge of manufacturing in China. Because those motherfuckers can churn out stuff when there's no disease.
Well, I mean, they do have a lot of people, so
That's true.
My only counter argument for that is the quality of products don't scream alien quality mass produced to me.
No, but does it scream alien managed quality?
No. Because I feel like aliens, if they're traveling like gajillions of miles through like hyperspace or whatever,
Yeah, they would understand tolerances. You're right.
yeah, the quality control would be far better. Maybe Taiwan and Japan, you know, where you get some good stuff, and that would make sense. You know, you want to start.
there are some good stuff over there.
Mm-hmm. Taiwanese manufacturing on point. Japanese manufacturing. They have
Well, Japanese is just god tier.
Yeah,
so.
they have tolerances that haven't been discovered in America. So aliens, I would believe that.
You can put two pieces together, you'd never know it was even there. That they're even broken. How good it is.
So I've always heard that question a lot. So why haven't we gone back to the moon? Why has it been 60 years since we went to the moon? Almost 60 years.
I have the answer.
What's the answer?
It's
Because I have the actual answer. I don't know if you.
My answer is it's too expensive and like they don't need to go back there. There's nothing for them to discover.
That's half of the reason. Well, not that you got the budget part right. It is very expensive, as one would assume. What I read was that a lot of the time when NASA gets these instructions to go to the moon, they start holding meetings and trying to advise on how they should do it, and then budget comes into it and it all falls apart. And the other reason was political risk, right? Because the people in charge, like presidents in charge, don't want to risk that money or their reputation on spending that much going to the moon.
When it's already been done, that makes sense.
Exactly. So there was a plan to go back to the moon, I want to say in like 2006 by Bush, maybe 2004, somewhere around there.
That's prime Bush territory.
Yeah, there was NASA was planning to go back to the moon, and that was changed by Obama in 2010 to go to some near Earth meteor and study that. Not manned, but near it. And then I don't know if you guys are. I'm sure everyone remembers this Trump's Space Force thing, getting boots on the ground.
And they got beat by Space Force. Yeah, Netflix series.
Yeah. But did you guys know that in March 2019, Vice President Mike Pence instructed NASA to get it done by 2024 because they were initially targeting 2028?
To get a militarized force on the moon?
Not militarized, no, just a crewed mission to the moon.
That I did not know.
That seems like a waste of personnel and money when you could easily just send up a robot.
So NASA was targeting for 2028 for the first crewed lunar landing of a program called Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2019, Mike Pence was like, get it done sooner. Apparently that's a good thing because the quicker they get it done, the less political risk there is. So the more likely it is to happen.
I don't understand the risk. The last time we were on the moon was 72.
Look, there's a whole lot of politics. I don't know politics.
No, I'm just looking up the information. I'm just looking. Apollo 17, 72. So I think that's quite the gap. But like, I just don't understand. Like, why do we need to go there?
So, Artemis, the program Artemis, is a long-term goal to set up sustainable human presence at or around the moon, mm-hmm. and use it as a stepping stone to get to Mars.
I think that's a waste.
Interesting.
That's a waste of like the government's money. Because there's, and Elon Musk famously, right? There's like private enterprise that's just going to do it.
Right, but that doesn't help the government at all.
It doesn't.
Right, because if a privatized company gets there first and they set up a sustainable living on the Earth, they're not part of the U.S. government anymore. They're on a different planet. You can do whatever the fuck they want.
That's true.
The governments want to get there first.
But that, I think it could open up new legislation because, extraterrestrial legislation. That's an American company, so therefore it's part of America. Yeah,
no, but that's kind of a bridge that they'll cross when they get there.
Yeah,
I think their goal would be to get there first.
Yeah, I just think it's dumb to spend money like that when you can have someone who's already on your soil rooting for your team, privatized or not, most likely privatized, and just have them do it and cut a deal with them saying like...
Just contract it out.
Yeah, just be like, you know what, you're doing this for us and be proud.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Logically, it makes sense, but we were talking about the government here, so...
That's true. There's no logic there.
The government is very, very unique and special.
Astute observation. But yeah,
Very spontaneous. That was the
Where
word I was
my-
thinking of.
spontaneous. Yeah, but that's where my hollow moon theory eventually led to. That was the end point. But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts on aliens and the moon?
I do. And not going against you, Sammy.
I don't think
Hollow. Yeah. Okay, not you, Sammy, but like, you know, I appreciate your hard work, but the people who are trying to dig up this sort of like bullshit, it doesn't ring true to me. Hollow Moon just seems like bullshit, right? But I do believe in aliens. This is such a vast universe, and we haven't even begun to see 1% of it from my perspective, right? If you don't believe in aliens, and this is my objective opinion, if you don't believe in aliens, you're a dumbass. I hope you guys agree with me.
I wouldn't say it so severely, but I do agree that if you don't believe in aliens, I think you're just kind of ignoring probability, just universal probability.
Yeah. Like I am.
But I wouldn't. But I wouldn't say that you're a dumbass though.
Once again, that's my personal opinion, right? And
True,
it's like,
true.
this is the hill I'm gonna die on.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in extraterrestrial life, no matter how big or how small, right? It just goes to show how ignorant a person is. And I'm not saying like intelligent life, you know, like bacteria.
It's a weird coin, because there's two sides and there's a middle ground, and the two sides are both very ignorant, and the middle ground is I don't even know how to explain the middle ground. It's kind of being logical but also realistic at the same time.
I mean, trying to like amend what you're saying, I don't think it's two sides of the same coin at all, because like by saying that, it's just like when you flip the coin, it's either aliens exist or not. It's kind of like when you flip the coin and for some miraculous reason it just lands on the middle.
Yeah, no, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's like the right place is to be the middle, but if you go on either side of the coin, you get extreme left or extreme right.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from, and the probability.
but I feel like
the probability of life existing in this vast expanse of a universe, multiverse we live in. There's got to be something out there, and I'm not talking like living human beings like us, but microbes, bacteria, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point it's almost a fact. It's like it's just impossible for there to not be something else living out there.
Yeah, but there are people who believe otherwise, and that's shocking.
Yeah, that's fair. Wayne, any thoughts on the hollow moon or aliens or both?
Hollow Moon, I think I'll still need a little bit more information to, I don't know, to like say something. But aliens, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's sightings, and like people have talked about it for like so many years already. So
yeah.
To go, I would have to agree with Arvin that and you like you were saying, it's like you can either say yes or no, but both sides have really strong points, and I don't know, I just like to say in the middle, because it's not like I don't believe it, but also I want to see it, and then
I want to see it too. I want to see it too, but I'm going to believe it. Yeah. And the best way to summarize this is from our favorite television program, The X-Files. The truth is out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the hollow moon theory, just the hollow moon is kind of dumb. Because I mean, the biggest evidence that we have that the earth isn't hollow is the gravitational pull that the earth has. The moon also has a gravitational pull, and it affects the tides. It's very important for human life.
Mhm.
So it needs to have a certain amount of mass to have that gravitational pull. If it's hollow, how does it have that mass?
Yeah, no, solid
Got a point there. Solid.
But I mean, aliens, yeah, they're aliens. Whether or not they're coming to Earth ever, I can't say for certain. They're most likely not, but it's also possible, I guess.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I think Wayne is an alien.
No, I could see that.
So the way that I see if I believe if aliens exist or not is the same way that I believe if ghosts and demons are real. Like it's I don't know. I want to see it and then I'll believe it. But as of right now, it's like I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But ghosts, demons, they're more planetary, like, based on Earth.
yeah,
I like to think I believe in ghosts because I've encountered one.
yeah. But I mean I haven't. But some people have encountered aliens, but you haven't.
Well, I think the difference is whether or not you've come into contact with aliens. There's that kind of probability standpoint, right? At some point, there is going to be life in the universe. Whether or not that's, advanced life or like cellular life or whatever kind of life it is, there is life there. Whereas ghosts, I attribute more towards beliefs.
Mhm.
If you believe a soul lives past its human body, if you believe in ghosts and all these things, then they exist to you. But if you live your whole life not ever caring about ghosts or not believing in them, your chances of having a ghost experience is probably fairly low.
I mean, I agree with that. Like, because when I had my first experience, ghosts were a joke to me. But then it happened, and we did our research. There's no proper way anyone caused it. And then more recently, when I was at your house, Sammy, and you have that loft area next to your parents' room.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to me, but there was something there. I
remember that.
I didn't see it, but I could feel it there.
Yeah.
Sammy's gonna be like, "Oh yeah. I know him too."
Well, I mean, that was that room was my room for a long time, and a lot of times when I was sleeping, I felt like something was watching me. But then it comes down to beliefs, right?
Mhm.
And feelings, and those are some things you just can't explain.
I agree with that, but that's two different sources.
Mhm.
What about your parents?
I've remembered
they've
you
never felt
talked
anything
about
in the
this.
house.
Sorry?
No, they've never felt anything in the
No, I didn't hear what. Okay.
I remember
Yeah.
Sammy talking about this before.
I really don't, but that's
Or was it your old house?
It was my old house. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
They had very strong feelings about the old house.
Mm.
maybe it's just something attached to you, Sammy.
No, I wasn't born when they were experiencing it. So if anything, I cured it.
Mm.
I'm
we
the
know,
shining light
Sammy.
in the world, all right?
There's something there, but there is something in that loft.
Yeah, it's possible. There's also a lot of stuff in this house. I mean, it all comes down to beliefs.
Yeah.
I will never take away what you're feeling or what you think or what you saw, because if you believe it, you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to tell you what you did or did not see, you know?
No, thank you. I respect that. Thank you.
But yeah, it's just some things can be proven and some things can't, and it's just what you choose to believe in. Just like for right now, probably how aliens are, you know? Can't prove that they exist, but if you want to believe they exist, they exist.
I mean, aliens could be listening to us right now and be like, "Look at these humans."
Or
Depends
they're
on your
giving us
definition of aliens.
they're giving us 10 stars, you know, because they're like, they acknowledge us.
Exactly. Like these guys are smart. Maybe we should pay them a visit. That'd be kind
I
of
think
cool.
they listened to our podcast and went, "These guys are smart." Yeah, fucking. Wait,
God damn, Arvin. I don't know.
We've never talked about this before.
So we never. So the house that I'm currently living in, we bought it when I was in 3rd grade. So that was like what?
2000. 3rd grade.
It was like 10 plus years ago.
2004, 2003.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost 10 years ago. So when we bought the house.
20.
Yeah. There we go. That was right the first time, 10
Math
plus
hard.
years ago. But like when I first moved in, oh no. So when we bought the place, we started to like do remodeling and whatnot. So I would always come with my parents at night because that's usually by the time they get home, it's when I'm able to come through the house. And it's always bare, right? There's no furniture. We used to have hardwood floors. It was like it's an old house. It's like a 1960 or something or 80 house. So it's old, right? The people living before us were. So I've never met them, but neighbors would say. So I had a classmate that lives up the street, and they're like, oh shoot, you moved into the crack house.
Nice.
And then I was like, hi, cool, tight. But yeah, those people. The house was like very dark, very low light. So I always get afraid of going to the house because it's without furniture and anything, and it's an old house. It creaks a lot. So at night the house will creak, and it freaked the hell out of me. And since we have 2 stories, our downstairs also has a bathroom and a kitchen. So when I would go downstairs, my parents will be upstairs. Downstairs will freak the hell out of me. I mean, to this day, like the downstairs still freaks me out, even though there's lights, there's everything, but it's downstairs is still kind of creepy. But upstairs is kind of cool. Upstairs is like, yes, whatever. But downstairs, it's still kind of creepy. Yeah. But I've always had a feeling of things following me that goes back to sleep paralysis as well, like a dark figure. So the sleep paralysis thing also freaked me out. But hey, man, you won't talk to me, so I would never know. He could also be a very lonely guy, but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah. I had a lot more feelings and experiences attached to rooms and stuff when I was younger. But a lot of it, I was very uncomfortable with the dark for a long time when I was younger. So I think that was what stemmed a lot of it for me.
Dude, I'm still uncomfortable with the dark.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. For me, it's just where I'm comfortable. You know, not the dark. It's just that my house. I'm comfortable at my house. You know, so
Yeah.
I have no.
I mean,
when I was sorry. go
yeah,
ahead.
I would totally agree with you. Like, the dark part is not what I'm scared of. It's the things that are around, and then the sounds that you hear, and it's all a mental game at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
because you can't see anything, so you're like the rest of you's on like high alert.
yeah, and then all the sounds and like
Mhm.
the temperature and everything, just
Yeah, I
messes
mean,
with you.
I had a lot of moments when I was younger because my parents, when I was like maybe 13 or 12 or 13, my parents would go out, you know, just for dinner or something, or to a movie, and take my sister, and Jimmy would be out with his friends. He'd be home alone. And a lot of times, I was just on edge, just because I knew I was the only one in the house, and I'd hear a knock somewhere or something, and it'd freak the shit out of me. But now, I know, or at least my understanding of where I live and how comfortable I am here, I know it's nothing to worry about. You know, I can hear a knock outside my window, and I'll just be like, "What the fuck is that?" and just go look. I don't ever think that it's gonna be something that's gonna, you know, affect me that badly.
Mhm.
But I do know that there are places and people that experience that differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I mean, it's not similar to you, Sammy, but the circumstances are the same. But like, you know, whenever like my family members go out, right? And this is really painful, but it's just like I already assume the worst. You know, like I'm gonna get a knock on the door and it's like it's not them, right? Like, yeah, so that's like the battles I face, and like I feel like that's pretty similar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think a lot of it is mentality, but then a lot of it is also belief. But I mean, they do also go hand in hand. It's tough, you know, because afterlife is very tied to tradition and religion, and those are two things you honestly generally don't live without one of them. If your family's very religious, you'll probably live with a lot of tradition. If your family's not religious, you'll still have a lot of family traditions. So I don't know, it's weird.
it is weird, like, and like going back to that, right? Like I'm not very religious or very traditional, but my grandaunt, the last time I saw her, she told me something. I was like, this is when I was like, you know, 10 or 11, and she told me, like, I'll always look over you, I'm your guardian angel. And I was just like, that's a funny thing to say, you know? And then like 2 or 3 months later, when she was back in India, she passed away of breast cancer. But I strongly believe that I haven't like been gone through like ill harm because she's protecting me from above. And like, and it just like goes to show like those beliefs, you know, like can comfort you.
Absolutely.
I would have to agree with you 100%.
So Wayne, you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, so I'll believe in ghosts more than aliens. But yeah. I would believe in ghosts more than aliens. No,
Okay.
but yeah.
No, but
It's yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
My mom has always been super spiritual and into that, you know, realm. So it's always something I've lived with, but it's never been something I personally not agree with. Never been something I personally experienced or experienced to a level that it would make me conscious of it, you know?
I mean, it presents itself to some people, but not all, right?
Yeah.
And if you're lucky or unlucky, depending on your beliefs or whatever. Um, there are signs that will like come out there and be like, whoa, this is weird, but it's real to me. And that's the more thing. It's real to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely have moments of, or not have, but have had moments of like, I wouldn't say paranoia, but just like severe uncomfort where I just felt like there was just something wrong, or something that was waiting for something to happen to me. And clearly it's spurred by something. So,
Anxiety and
yeah.
a lot of stuff.
It could when it comes to mental things, it could be anything, right?
Mhm.
So
Your
it could be the
pH could be out
fluoride
of
from water
whack.
that we're drinking.
Yeah. All the beer that we're drinking as well. I mean, who knows?
Or it's like you're dealing with a new situation. Like I was watching that Sasquatch documentary.
Oh, how was it?
I only got through the first episode, but like I read more about the other, like some other like theories people had, and it's just like when you're in a situation where things are new, uncomfortable, unreal, your mind does start to play tricks on you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that also like kind of ties into it, where it's just like your mind is just trying to like plug into gaps, and those gaps are not necessarily correct, but hey, you see them and you believe them.
Exactly.
It's like with a lot of movies where it's dark setting, right? And then the music is somewhat creepy, just to help your brain move on with that. And since it's so dark, your mind already starts plugging in, like what will happen if you see something. Like it could just be a black screen, but your mind,
It starts filling in the gaps.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a ghost in the
preparing you.
figure.
Mhm.
Yeah, the mind
Yeah.
is very strong.
And with like movies, like they play the music that just like presents itself as like very.
It's an interesting thing that I heard. I don't remember where I heard this, but the mind is the only thing that's ever named itself. The brain is the only thing that's ever named itself.
I mean, it's not incorrect.
Smart.
It's weird to think about.
No, I mean, you're definitely not incorrect. Like the mind has definitely named itself.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just there's too many factors when it comes to things that are not physical.
Yeah, because it will plug in. Because the things that you fear would be the things that you will see, right? Let's say dark forest, walking through it. Everyone has different. Everyone will see different things. But everyone has their own like scare.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the mind's weird.
Yeah.
But
I've definitely walked through plenty of dark forests at night.
How are they though?
Came out a changed man.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I had this one friend, right? Like, we'd get like a group of like 7-10 people and like we'd go through like secret sidewalk or something, right? And 2 or 3 of the guys would like go up into like they would go up onto the hillside and they'd start throwing rocks and be like, it's a mountain lion, guys, it's a mountain lion. And
until you see a rock flying back at you.
Yeah, I think the first 2 or 3 times it was just like, oh my god, we have to move fast. And then you're just like, no, they're just playing tricks on us.
Mm-hmm.
So just like, how you develop your beliefs with the information you have around us. Like, have you been to like Secret Sidewalk, Wayne?
No, I have not. I've heard of it, but I've actually never gone to there.
Interesting. It's actually pretty fun. It's a nice secluded place.
but I mean, is that the place where with the railroad? Is that what it is? Is that the secret sidewalk?
It's no. The railroad is on the Niles Canyon side. Wait. No, I take that back. There is a railroad that is part of the secret sidewalk. And if you like, if you do the hike and you go down, you will meet up with like the railroad tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can walk through the tunnel and like you get on the other side. But it's like a really long tunnel. It's like a mile or something. But
what does that tunnel even connect in?
The tunnel, it's just a rail line for like goods trains and stuff. So the tunnel, like there are trains that go by there regularly, almost like on the daily. And so yeah, but the secret sidewalk itself is like an aqueduct that you can walk atop on, or fool around. It's just like a general location where people would go and have fun. And the last time I went there was actually like 2 months ago, and like it's like whatever, you can just walk out there and just chill with your homies and stuff. Yeah.
So when are we going there?
We could go tomorrow if you wanted, but someone has work.
I can honestly go right now.
Good. I'm not driving.
Yeah, Wayne would
Just
definitely
Uber there.
Like my friend lives really close to it, so like his backyard opens up to the railway tracks that go to the tunnel that's next to secret sidewalk. So like every once in a while.
Oh,
like,
so we just need to drive to their house.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Easy.
Yeah. No. I'm sure they wouldn't mind at all.
That's kind of crazy though. The mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. One fun story I had as a high schooler at Secret Sidewalk is like we had a bunch of us, right? And we're like, dude, let's go through the tunnel, right? We're like, let's go through the tunnel. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right because speech impediment. Tunnel. Let's go through the tunnel. It's really hard for me. And so we started walking through, and I approximately we got through like a quarter through, and like we heard like the railroad tracks just like they were like shrieking, and
Humming.
yeah, they were like humming, they were shrieking. Like, and if you're not like familiar with railroad tracks, when that happens, a train is coming, and a train is coming soon. And so we're like stuck in this tunnel, right? And like one of the more hard-headed people like, oh, let's just keep going forward. And so we like, we just keep walking, and all of a sudden we just hear this train, and the train starts coming towards us. So like we had to hug to the wall. Like I would say like every like 100 yards there was a section you could fall into, but like it was like a cutout in the tunnel where you could like kind of like hide behind.
Yeah.
But not all of us were that lucky. And so like we're just sitting, like me and my buddies were like, pressed against the wall. Like there are people inside those cutouts. And then my friend, Air Force Matt, he turns on his phone light. And I shit you not, like the train that was passing by us was not more than a foot away.
Yeah, I believe it. That tunnel's not very big. It's not meant for people to walk next to a train.
No, not at all.
Especially for all you guys to fit in a little dugout too.
Yeah, no, like 3 or 4 of us couldn't fit into the dugout, or we didn't make it in time, so it's just like hug that wall and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, high schoolers are fucking stupid.
That I can
Don't
confirm.
Don't have to tell us twice.
I don't have stories like that from when I was younger. No near-death experiences, at least.
Oh no,
Me neither.
Near-death experience for me was like every other weekend in high school because I was exceptionally stupid.
What do you mean was?
I like to think I've mellowed down.
Has lived life to the fullest during high school.
And
Faced death a
worst-
couple times,
no big deal.
I mean, you know, like what Arvin said, it happened every week.
Have I ever guys told you about the worst encounter I've had with like death?
Like the physical being death, or
Yeah.
the idea?
No.
You saw the light?
No, I'm talking about exactly. Have I ever guys told you about that?
No.
Probably not.
Wow, this is quite the story. It's not even that exciting, but it is a story.
Well, now you've hyped it up, so I expect it to be exciting.
Better hype it up.
I do not apologize if it's disappointing, but it was very life-changing to me. So me and my buddy Chris, we were doing a bicycle tour, you know, to like raise money for like charity. And so we were like around the Fort Bragg area on the Highway 101. And the 101 in that area is like a 2-lane road that just like curves and stuff. There's no shoulder. Like on the left side, if you're going southbound, on the left side it's like the mountainside. On the right side it's just like cliff and then water. And this was during the summer, which I suppose is like peak logging season. And so like logging trucks. Wow, I'm a fucking retard.
Hey, logging trucks 5 times fast.
Logging trucks, logging. Yeah.
Truck
like,
logging.
Yeah. So like logging trucks like just like blaze down through that highway. Like the speed limit doesn't matter to them. And there was this one truck that got a little too close. So me and my buddy Chris, we rode our bikes onto the shoulder, but the shoulder was like gravel. It wasn't actually a shoulder, it wasn't paved, and we were on road bikes. So we both fell, and we fell right on the path of the logging truck.
I remember this story.
Yeah. And like when they say your life flashes before your eyes, it is 100% true.
So, like, how many kids did you have?
No, it was all the past stuff.
Well,
So would you say that you and Death are like best buddies?
Man,
In a good way, though. In a good way.
no, in a bad way, yeah.
No.
I've been to way too many funerals, so it's just like, Death and I guess it's good, you know, if you want to take that approach.
I don't even know what what the fuck you guys are saying. But I do remember that story, Arvin. Yeah, that was you were riding from Oregon to San Francisco?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the logging part. I didn't remember the whole
Okay.
beginning part, but I remember the point where you talked about logging and then how life flashed before your eyes.
Yeah. That was
I think you mentioned that story to me a couple months ago. I think that was the first time I heard it.
yeah. It's not a story I like to share or anything.
Oh, it's a good thing you shared it on a recorded podcast that's gonna go on the internet forever.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't worry. If someone else wants to know, just tell them to listen to our podcast.
Just give him a timestamp.
No. That one, that makes it too easy. You gotta listen to the whole
Oh,
thing.
you know what?
until-
You're right. Make him listen to the whole fucking episode.
that's true.
Hey, Wayne, cut that section out and move it to the very end.
I should cut it to 2 different parts. One in the beginning, one at the end.
Just slice it in half. Talking about moons, all of a sudden Arvin's talking about how he's riding a bike.
And it's crazy, like not even my parents or like siblings know about, or sibling knows about it. So like
You're telling me Maya will know?
Maya doesn't know.
No, well, she will when she listens to it.
I don't think she's listening to this, but hopefully if she does, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the past. Things happen.
Yeah.
It's not like it was your fault either. It's not like you did anything stupid.
No.
There's nothing to really be.
But like that was the first humbling moment that I've had in life.
First of many, or just first?
Wait.
First of many.
Let me take that back.
Wayne's calling it for you.
No, let me take that back. That was the second humbling moment I've had.
Was the first one when you shit your pants?
No,
Because that's pretty humbling.
that is true. That is when I shit my pants. That was like the. Oh my god, I've lost track. Let's just go with like 9th. I would tell you the first, but it's way too dark for this podcast.
That's fair.
So Patreon subscribers, gotcha.
Yeah.
Say no more, fam.
I'll just put a camera in front of Arvin and he's just gonna record himself for 15 minutes.
And it'll
Yes,
be like in a
$5 a month,
dark
maybe.
room, you know, with just a light shining on top, and be like, "So guys, welcome back."
I don't think I'm ready to cry on camera for that long.
Hey man, money talks, right?
I mean, that's why we have the foot photos, you know.
Right.
Whose feet exactly? Because
Mine.
I've seen your
Arvin's
feet.
feet.
I don't think anyone wants to pay for those feet.
Oh, some depraved like. That's so funny, because like my the people I consider myself close to and vice versa, they've put a moratorium on my feet in their presence. Like I'm not allowed to take off my socks in front of them.
I might have to make that rule for my house.
Yeah.
Arvin shows up without socks all the time.
Yeah. No. I know. I have ugly ass feet.
Hey man, I never said that.
It's not ugly ass feet. They're just feet.
No. You don't have to sugarcoat it. My feet are ugly. You want to see them?
No.
No.
Wait, why is the bottom of your foot dirty?
All
I have
right.
no clue. I just
Don't
saw
worry
that
about
for
that.
this.
Viewers, you won't be able to see any of that. Don't worry, I got you guys.
I need you to censor him right there.
I'm gonna censor everything, you know.
Oh my god.
Don't even worry about it. Aaron's feet, you guys never seen it.
Yeah, you
All
just
good.
gave him a free sneak peek. Come on, dude, we're supposed to charge for that.
That's OnlyFans content only. You're right.
Oh fuck. Wayne, I know you had another conspiracy theory you wanted to talk about. Did you want to save that for next week?
Yeah, we can save it for next week.
Yeah. I know Aaron
Yeah.
really wanted to join in on this this episode, but he had some work to do, so he wasn't able to make it. So
Yeah.
we'll probably come back to conspiracy theories not frequently, but this is definitely not the last episode. Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I enjoy doing these kind of episodes.
Yeah, conspiracy theories is one of the things that never bore us.
Yeah.
Or for me. I
see-
can watch. Yeah.
Yeah, like mysteries too. You just never really run out of content when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You can get lost for hours in that.
And the debates that come after it,
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
I'm gonna need the raw video footage of this so I can just clip you going.
Oh, hello there, Arvin.
Oh, hello. What are we laughing about?
Do you just go clean your feet?
You wish I did.
Oh man.
Oh my
No,
god.
I just did. You know, and Sammy said he wanted
Yeah, I need to-
the raw footage of it, so had to do it a couple times, so I won't forget.
All right. Well, my allergies started to kick in, so this might be a good place to end it if you guys are down. Any closing
course.
thoughts?
The only closing thought I have is make sure your friends are doing well.
All right. It's not
Yes.
really relevant to the subject matter, but okay.
No. It's always relevant.
Any closing thoughts on what we talked about?
Oh yeah. Aliens are real.
But Wayne believes in ghosts more than aliens, so you got to convince him.
That's because Wayne is an alien, so that's what he would naturally say.
See, that's what he wants us to think.
Exactly.
I do actually have a theory about Wayne. For some reason, I feel like Wayne has like a beautiful singing voice, and he's just too shy to show anyone. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like that motherfucker can sing.
Yeah, you know, it's also like me trying to get that girl's number too. And then
Yeah. Hey,
so
Wayne.
How are
none
you
of those
gonna bring
guys
that
know me. So they're like, did you get it? And I was like, nah, like, dude, I'm too shy. I'm not gonna get that. And they're like, you're shy? I'm like, well,
Yeah, you're shy when you're not talking about Audis.
yeah.
Wayne. The only
Talk about
thing,
girls.
Wayne.
I'm outta
the
here.
the only thing you need to say to them is like, girls aren't important, but singing is.
And then just start singing. That beautiful voice we all know you have.
I might have to give that a shot.
I mean, did you ever do this? How far is this for both of you guys? Right before we end it, did you guys ever do that thing where you record yourself singing and play it back to see how it sounds?
No.
My computer doesn't support that.
Well, you don't need to use a computer. What are you talking about?
My
We
ears.
all that Arvin definitely did it. I'm not buying it for a second. Arvin, you definitely did it.
I think it's wrong if I do it because I was like classically trained to sing, so
Oh yeah,
yeah,
classically trained to sing what?
Indian classical music.
All right, well, you didn't specify, so don't look at me weird.
uh, no, like fun fact, I guess. Now that we brought this up, but I used to compete in singing competitions until like my voice broke.
In
I
like
said
India's
wife.
Got Talent or what?
No, it was more like Indian Americans Got Talent because
Indian Idol.
no, Indian American Idol.
Got it.
Because
American Indian Idol. Got it.
No, that's different too.
That's a different kind of Indian.
Yeah, like me and my singing group, we would participate in these, events.
Now, when you say singing group, do you mean choir?
No, it wasn't a choir group.
So it was like you and like how many other dudes?
Brother dudes.
Three. No. Me and two other people.
Wow.
Yeah. Like like do re mi fa sol la ti do or whatever.
What the fuck? I'm not believing it for a second now. There's no way you saying if you can't even remember that.
Well, no, because I don't remember that because that's not what I was trained in. Like do re mi fa sol la ti do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the 7 notes. And Indian classic music, you have your equivalent. So sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, right?
Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, right? So like our instructor would train us, and we'd go out and do like these singing competitions. Me and my homies.
I have a question.
Interesting.
Why the fuck did you sing so terribly with all the other songs I've heard you sing then?
Exactly. What the hell happened?
It's like you purposely sing bad.
You've definitely hit the hammer on the nail there.
No, I'm saying why?
It's because it's funny to me.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, well, today on Fun Facts with Arvin, I learned he was classically trained to sing classical Indian music.
Sasa nini papa, sasa nini papa, mama riri gaga. Exactly.
You didn't win any competitions, did you?
That
was a sarcastic thing, but like, did you actually though? Genuinely, did you?
No, did
you place well?
It's hard for me to recall because of my car accident. But I know I've won at least 3 competitions.
That a boy.
Yeah, I don't know how many I was in, but those first 3 were like the first 3 I did win.
What's the age group we're looking at here? Just give me a ballpark.
I started at what's 18 minus 26? 26 minus 18. I have a calculator.
Don't tell. Math hard.
Yeah, I started when I was like 8.
Got it. Okay. Did you do that in high school, or is that just all before high school?
I stopped at 9th grade.
Nice. Okay, 2009.
Yes.
Okay. Cool beans. All right. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Last Call Garage. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at LastCallGarage. And if you have any criticisms or topic suggestions, shoot us an email at lastcallgarage@gmail.com. Go check out our YouTube page for the video of this, which will be especially handy if you want to look at those moon-based pictures that weren't moon bases. That's Last Call Garage on YouTube. And leave us a good review if you can. 5 out of 5 stars. And share it with your friends.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. That's 5 on
different
Spotify,
counts.
5 on Apple. Okay, 20. 2 different counts for both apps. I
Yeah.
expect 20 stars. If I'm not
And at
getting 20
least-
stars, I'm gonna call the aliens and they're gonna come get you. From
Yeah.
the moon.
And at least 1 comment in each rating.
Yeah, don't just give us 5 stars and just not do anything. Just like, write something.
Like,
It's
Say
helpful.
hi, or like where are you coming
Yeah.
from, or your name. We want to
Yeah.
see where our people are coming from to listen.
Hey, but most importantly, make sure your friends are doing okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put that second. First, you leave us a good review, then make sure your friends are okay. Either way, you got to do both of them. So, have a good night and do both of them. Do it
Night,
now.
guys.
I'm
See you
watching.
guys.